Hey, what's up? So I'm just finished a run. I'm just about at my CrossFit gym. And I just had a little experience that I wanted to share. So I was running down the sidewalk in the morning. It's early. It's like 7:30 or something in London. And it's crowded. Streets, sidewalks are starting to get busy. And I was running, and some dude kind of coming towards me, and I was watching him, looking, and then he started doing that thing where you're about to go left, and then he goes left, and then you try to go right. He goes right, and it's like, which way are we gonna go? And I'm watching the dude. I'm looking him right in the eyes, and I'm seeing him, and he's looking at the ground. He's looking down at the ground that way, down at the ground that way, down at the ground that way, down at the ground that way. He's not looking at me, and I could see him visually getting more and more frustrated each time. So I get to the point where he just he just got mad and kind of stomped himself into one of the particular directions, and I ran by. I just kind of laughed. It reminded me, I forget where I learned this, but maybe in Keith Johnstone's book Impro. It was like, so when the reason why people have that moment where they're about to crash into each other, they don't know which way to go, is because they're not looking each other in the eyes. And as soon as you get that and you realize that, you see it all the time. I mean, especially if you're in a city, you see a lot of people walking in towards them a lot. If people aren't looking you in the eyes, maybe they're on their phone, or like this guy, for another reason I'll talk about in a sec, they don't look you in the eyes. That's where that confusion happens. Our eyes are the kind of foreshadow of where we're going to go next. We look to where we're going. So when you watch people, you're unconsciously picking up where their pupils are pointing, and that's the direction they're going to walk. And so we can all walk, and it can be busy, and we don't crash into each other. More importantly, though, why was this guy looking at the ground back and forth and not looking me in the eyes? Why was he inhibiting his natural ability to not crash into people by looking them in the eyes? Why was he not doing that? It's common in the West. My theory is that we have become so, in the West, and I say in the West because if you go to the East, it's a lot less common. People won't make eye contact. People do it all the time there, a lot more comfortable with it. In the West, it's such a culture of I. There's such a strong separation. We have such an identity with the ego. We identify so much with ego. And letting somebody look us in the eyes, or looking somebody else in the eyes, means that we're opening the window to our soul. You've heard that, right? The eyes are the window to the soul. And people are going to see us more deeply than we're comfortable with, because when they see us more deeply than we're comfortable with, then we have to see ourselves reflected back at us in them, and what they communicate from seeing us, either verbally, with their facial expressions, anything. So for you to be able to look into my eyes means that I have to look at myself, and that's a scary thought. So, eye contact, looking people deeply in the eyes, is something that, of course, is still an edge. I can still feel it sometimes, right? You got prolonged eye contact, a little bit weird, but at the same time, get myself out of the way, keep doing it, and you can see so deeply into people, and you can not only see where they're going on the sidewalk, but you get a sense of where they're going in life. And when you know that, that's where trust comes from. That's where your ability to really serve somebody comes from. So don't crash into people on the sidewalk by looking in the eyes, and don't crash into life by looking people in the eyes and seeing their soul. Much love.